What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more The Cure, and we're returning to 17 Seconds 1980 for a 2-for-1. Indeed, the first track, The Final Sound, I understand to be a quick opener, a bit abstract for the second side of the record, followed by a tune multiple people have mentioned, which is A Forest. So The Final Sound, it's interesting to use that phrasing for a track that does not complete the record, but indeed opens the second side. My understanding is it's very short, so I won't spend too long thinking about the title, but as to A Forest, it's very general, it's a bit opaque in that regard. A forest is, at least in many regards, or in many examples, dense, meaning you can't see from one side all the way through to the other, or outside of the forest. It's easy to get disoriented in a forest. Of course, a forest is also a place where lots of animals live and where humans are at best less comfortable or less familiar than in an open area or in a modern city or town. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of different ways that could go. I'll see what I can pick up on a first listen for both. This is The Cure. First, The Final Sound, followed by A Forest. Sounds like a suspenseful moment in a horror film. Sense of doom, even. Bass coming in. crazy. I feel like some of my conceptual thoughts about Forrest and Vance were relevant, though in a more figurative way than I was thinking. From what I gleaned, he's talking about hearing a woman's voice, running into the forest, into the trees, talking about how it can be very dense and it's hard to see through it all, and then getting disoriented once you're inside, and whoops, actually the girl was never here, and I do this all the time. So to extrapolate that to a metaphorical level, maybe the idea of seeing a girl or becoming friends or acquaintances with a girl and thinking that maybe she's calling out to you and then trying to enter her world, but then finding it very disorienting and not feeling the reciprocated emotions that you might thought, and you feel like you're suddenly on your own and you're lost, and there's not a person waiting there for you as you expected. So it feels like maybe a forest is a metaphor for the complicated world of human emotions, where you think you might be about to journey with someone or connect with someone, and then suddenly you're in this dense and confusing place by yourself. And in his case, feeling like this just happens again and again and again, suggesting that maybe there's a problem with his perception or his senses, which is represented in the form of hearing. Nevertheless, a deep piece, like sonically, meaning I feel like there's perhaps some sonic expression of themes as well. There were some ornaments and flourishes sonically along the way, but ultimately it was in that same groove for most of the time, and it felt like it was very encompassing and dense. The bass in particular, when it came in, I really enjoyed that, and obviously the bass in those pulsing, almost heartbeat-like moments finishes the track. Obviously the guitar was a prominent feature as well. At first, more straight away, I guess I would say, then getting a bit more intense, and then by the end almost seeming dissonant and ratcheting up in intensity. Obviously Robert's voice also very characteristic, meaning I've come to really hear his voice very distinctly. It's not a voice I would confuse with anyone else at this point, but not really standing out as much as on some other tracks, not doing those long arrhythmic extensions, but almost sounding echoed and far away, which again, within this forest maybe of emotion, certainly a conceptual wood. And running into trees, I read that more directly, the idea of running into the trees, into the forest, but to take it on a more face value, running into a tree is a very, painful or arresting moment. You think you have a path, and suddenly you hit a tree. So I feel like maybe that's operating on multiple levels as well. But yeah, it sounds very Cure. Again, having only heard a couple albums and not even a full second album yet, along with some bonus tunes, demos, I do get a sense of their early sound very clearly, and I think the guitar and bass work is very much a part of that, as well as Smith's voice. So yeah, another cool tune, and one that I do understand why people were keen to hear and to discuss. So I'm looking forward to that. Let me know what you think of either of them. Again, the opening piece, the final sound, very abstract, sounding like a tension moment in a horror film, like this doom piano and maybe this plucked, I don't know, it didn't sound like a harpsichord, but it didn't sound like either a piano or necessarily a guitar either. I'm not sure what exactly it was, but very much an atmosphere piece, and one that was creepy, tension-filled, dissonant. So yeah, ultimately an expression of artistic chronology over the course of the album, it seems. Do let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.